Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got the second game between Mana and Polt, and this is from the Go for SC2 tournament, and it's actually the 186th tournament they've done, so this should be pretty damn fly. These are two top players, and if you haven't watched game 1, go and check it out because, well, frankly you should. It was awesome. And if you don't watch it, you won't know the excitement. And, well, you will know the excitement because I'll give it away in a spoiler any second. So pause, go watch game 1, come back. Pause, good, fantastic. So, we all know that Polt won game 1 in a very nice little timing push that really just rolled straight over Mana. It wasn't even close. It was just, I'm going to win. And that is exactly what Polt did. So Polt is now obviously one game up in this best of 3. So, well, put simply, if he decides to go on, he can do something risky again, and it doesn't really matter because even if it doesn't work, then, well, he's got the game 3 to go on to. Mana, on the other hand, he's in a bit of a tough spot here. If he does something risky and it doesn't work, he's out. If he doesn't do something risky, then, I mean, well, to be honest, if you don't take risks, you're not going to win. It's just kind of the way things work. You have to take some degree of risks, and obviously Mana just has that pressure put on himself that if he doesn't win this game, he's out, and then he's got to go into game 3 even if he does win with the same feeling that if he doesn't win, he's out. So, I mean, a bit of a tough position. Polt probably feeling a bit more comfortable in this match. Anyway, we will see that Mana is getting this gateway assimilator out very quickly. Meanwhile, well, Polt has a lot of money saved up, so my money is on, well, there we go, there's the command center going down, so a command center first build, and Mana is actually going to scout this out. He's going to know exactly what is going on, and I mean, I do think that probe did actually get in there to be able to see it, and it's just going to come back down now, and really Polt has to be slightly concerned because Mana could do an awful lot in terms of harassment. Actually, he's going to start attacking SCVs, and that's a bit of a pain. It's irritating, and really, Polt has to be careful now because his barracks only just started. Meanwhile, we will see that 2 more probes are on the way, so there's going to be 3 probes up, and obviously some lag going on there. A couple of the observers have, well, quit out the game, and Mana doesn't appear to be too happy about the lag. Anyway, we will see now that there are these 3 probes here, and it looks like they're going to try and snipe off that SCV, and they will manage to do so. They're going to possibly get 2 SCV kills here, and this just delays this expansion, and Polt being forced to pull quite a few, 5 SCVs of its own in order to deal with it. And to be honest, he needs to, because if he keeps losing these SCVs, then obviously it will just delay this base getting built and getting finished, and we will actually see that a Zealot is even on the way now, and still that first Marine not even out yet, so this could be quite tough for Polt to deal with until that first Marine comes out. But those SCVs wisely just running away, running back behind the wall, and I mean, that actually the Zealots managed to get in. Polt not quite quick enough with the supply depot there. A Stalker is on the way, and a second Stalker in production, and that one Zealot being scared off by a couple of SCVs and also the Marines there, and the orbital command for Polt has finished up, and really this is quite a lot of early pressure, and clearly something going really badly wrong with the lag in this game, which is never something you want to be happening in a tournament, especially for Mana when so much runs on him winning this game. Now that SCV will get taken out, and I mean, this is just annoying harassment more than anything, and Polt leaving this supply depot open for just so long, and I mean, it's going to take a bit of damage, but obviously Polt is just being forced to pull SCV after SCV, and still there's just so much, well, apparently lag, but also just so much pressure coming in here from Mana, and I mean, this will, I think the sheer fact that there's so many units coming out now will force Mana back. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this off. SCVs are getting us around on the Stalker. The Marines will be able to finish it off. A bunker coming down there for Polt as well. And it looks like Polt has successfully held this, but at what cost? Well, actually both players have lost 3 workers and 5 units. Exactly the same. So that's quite unusual. You don't normally see that, but obviously both players are on pretty much identical food counts, but clearly Polt has this base down. Meanwhile, Mana's hasn't even finished yet, so that is going to be quite a deciding factor, because obviously Polt has the additional income earlier on, and what's he doing? Well, he's just following up with mass barracks a lot of barracks, getting his first gas now, so he's just going for a mass marine player. And this Stalker actually starting to pick off those rocks. It will take a tremendous amount of time to be able to kill it, but I mean, it gives him another opening to go in. And to be honest, it looks like Mana's just going to be following this up with a 5-gate, possibly going to add a couple more onto this. We will wait and see. Actually, no, it's not. It's 4-gate and a forge. Silly me there, but yeah, we will see this forge coming down, so Mana probably playing a bit safer now, going to get up some upgrades and then move out. But to be honest, Polt has got a nice spot here. He should notice very, very shortly that these rocks are taking damage. I mean, to be fair, I'm quite surprised he hasn't noticed as of yet. But I mean, once he does notice, this Stalker is going to be going down, and or will at least have to run away pretty damn quickly. And let's take a look up in Polt's base. But he's getting a tech lab. He's actually getting his... He's starting building his 3rd command center. That is exceptionally early. And Polt clearly just looking to keep ahead economically, building 2 more bunkers, thinking this is a bit of an overreaction because he hasn't scouted over here. He doesn't actually know what Mana has. He knows that those rocks are being taken down, but by what? Well, 1 Stalker. You don't need 3 bunkers to defend 1 Stalker. But I mean, clearly Mana could be following this up with something, who knows what. And now these Marines are just going to come around, and that Stalker is without a doubt going to die, going to try and run away. But this, I think, actually, no, the Stalker, wait, I don't actually know this. 2.95, and no, the Stalker can definitely get away. That was, I can't believe I didn't know that off the top of my head, but oh well. Anyway, we will see here that a robotics facility is on the way down now for Mana. He's also getting that +1 armor for his ground units, which is about 3/4 done. And meanwhile, we will just see some reactors coming down here. That factory on its way. So it'll be interesting to see if Polt does go for a starport and just uses this kind of switch over to get a reactor on that starport super quickly, or what exactly he chooses to do. Stim is about 1/3 done, so that should be coming out shortly. So is combat shield, and it would appear that Mana is just taking his own 3rd base. And judging from the timing, his 3rd base will actually come out, will be up and running at a very, very similar time to Polt. So both players doing a great job of expanding, but not really doing a great job of attacking each other. But I can't blame them, because Polt, he's just got this really, really nice defensive position. Also, Polt knows he's ahead because he got this natural base down so quickly and took hardly any damage. So we will see here that this starport and factory are going to be switched. There's a reactor coming down, so the starport will almost certainly go over and take that reactor. And now Polt moving down just to take his own 3rd base, taking out these rocks far quicker than the Stalker did. And I mean, what else have we got going on here for Mana? Well, his 3rd base is up. He's still just getting a couple more gateways. Got his robotics bay down as well, so we'll probably be seeing some Colossus come out, which obviously are very, very effective against a Terran army. And well, let's just see if he is going to push forward, or when he chooses to do so, or will Polt be the aggressor? That's always a key thing of, you do have a defender's advantage, very much so, just because, I mean, the attacker always fighting up a ramp, you can't get as good at arc. There's just a lot plays into it. Extended thermal lance on the way. 1/1 upgrades are coming out for Polt's infantry. This factory is on its way to go and scout, and will eventually get there. Factories are a bit slow. Meanwhile, we will see the first Colossi is on its way. That extended thermal lance about 1/4 done, and we have got this observer just sitting out here, just trying to get information, see if anything's going to come around the back. Obviously, there's the probe at the watchtower and a probe over here. So very, very good map control for Mana. We'll know exactly if Polt moves out, when, if, and how. Concussive shell is about to finish up there for Polt, and I mean, he has already got Stim up and Combat Shield. 1/1 will be done pretty shortly. For Mana, we have got 1/1 already finished, and he's getting a 2nd Forge up as well, so probably going to be going for double upgrades out of this, getting a Twilight Council as well. And now we will see this factory. The factory's going to die. The factory bravely trying to sacrifice itself to get essential scouting information, but is going to survive purely because Polt is moving out, and this is actually quite a large force, and it could be quite tough for Mana to deal with. Obviously, this Colossi, if it does manage to stay up, a Colossus, even just one now, a 2nd Colossi out, well, 2 Colossi will demolish this army, especially with some good force fields. And the second Polt sees those Colossi there, he just turns around and runs away with his tail between his legs, because he does not want to try and deal with that force just yet. He does not have the stuff he needs. The factory goes down, and well, Polt is trying to get away. Mana, meanwhile, getting charged for his zealots. He's also getting +2 ground weapons, and here comes the Vikings now for Polt. They are coming out. These will be the first two, and obviously he's going to need to get that Viking count up pretty high to deal with these Colossi. Although, having said that, no more are on the way as of yet. These upgrades getting chrono boosted out, charge getting chrono boosted out, a Templar Archives on the way as well. So, I mean, if Polt overcommits now with Vikings, that could be his downfall, because obviously if he gets too much supply taken up in Vikings to deal with 2 Colossi, Mana switches into High Templar, then, well, that could be really, really difficult for Polt to deal with. And it looks like that is exactly what Man is planning to do. Oh, actually no, he has got another Colossi on the way, so not too bad there for Polt. Polt just going to start moving across the map. We'll get a free Zealot there. You can never complain about getting free kills for losing absolutely nothing. And we will see a probe on its way up here for Mana, just scouting out to see if the 4th base has been taken. Not yet, although it has just been started, and we will now see a drop coming down here for Polt. And how effective will this drop be? Not very, just because of how close Mana's army is. It's not going to be able to do very much at all, but it will allow this army moving through the centre of the map to get in position if Mana does choose to move out. And Mana actually pulling back straight away now to deal with this drop, and that is going to allow the main army of Polt to move straight in and stop immediately outside of Mana's base. And there we go, the High Templar with the feedback on the medevac taking it out. Polt just moved his army down to sit there, and he was like, hey guys, I can see you're dropping, but we don't want to help, we just want to hide. And now they're going to run away. So the drop force was the kind of elite special forces of Polt's army, and this is the smaller infantry ball, which is just not really very well organised, it would appear, running away, taking hideous amounts of damage, and just trying to escape without too many of their comrades falling. But it doesn't look like it's going to be too successful, unfortunately. And obviously, these High Templar Storm is researched, and they are just moving forward. And Mana has a big army. Those Vikings are headed straight for the Colossi, but the Stalkers, they're having none of it. This is a lovely, lovely push going on by Mana, and some huge storms go up on all of the infantry. That is doing massive, massive damage. Those Zealots are charging in. There is just mass destruction everywhere. And to be honest, I feel quite bad for Polt here. I mean, he is in a tough spot. I don't even know if he's going to be able to deal with this at all, because obviously there are still 2 Colossi up, and the Viking count is low. It is actually 0. 4 are on the way, but all those supply depots do go down, and now this 3rd base of Polt is looking extremely vulnerable. All of those SCVs are going to die, and Polt wisely moving around the back to try and cut this off, but reinforcements are still coming in, and quite surprisingly, Mana just deciding to leave those SCVs alone. He thinks he can win it here, and frankly he may well be able to. He's got a lot of units, he's got that arc on there, but here comes the Vikings. Has to be careful not to lose those Colossus, otherwise you can lose a lot. And storms are going down, doing massive damage. A big storm goes down there, a second massive storm. Polt not even moving his units out of there, and I mean, that is not a good position. Only 2 Marauders left, 4 Marines are following in, but obviously with 2 Archons morphing in as we speak, there is just so much stuff here. Those SCVs are long range mining, trying to get involved in the action, but Mana has got this without a doubt. And there is the GG from Polt. So Mana does manage to even up this series to 1 apiece, and it will go to game 3, and that will be the deciding match. So please flick on over to that and, well, find out who wins this amazing series.